Today's lesson is called Away with Words, Shakespearean words and phrases we still use. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
I am Roger. Today we're going to continue talking about words and phrases that come from Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare made this stuff up in his plays and poems. They didn't really exist before that, and so because William Shakespeare was such a great playwright, a lot of his language has continued to be used in the centuries since his death.
There you go. The Shakespeare guy. You might have heard of him. And if you happen to speak English, if you are from Great Britain or the United States or Canada, not only do you know about him, you're probably intimately familiar with some of his works. Yes, if you happen to go to high school in Great Britain or Canada or the United States, in high school there, you are going to have to read at least a few of Shakespeare's plays. I know when I was growing up, I had to read Romeo and Juliet and Julius Caesar and A Midsummer Night's Dream and Macbeth and Hamlet and King Lear. All of them. I had to read them, and by the way, after a while, even though Shakespeare is hard to read, after a while, you do fall in love with the language. And get this, what's super cool is that you fall in love with the language and you have no idea at first that you're falling in love with language that Shakespeare just made up. So you think that you're falling in love with the English language. Well, you are, but you're falling in love with the English language with the help of Shakespeare, who is creating words of the English language, new words for the English language, as he writes. And we talked about two of these words during the first part of our lesson. We talked about the words swagger and unreal. And yes, it was very interesting to talk about those words. Today, though, we're going to be talking about something even better. We're going to be talking about Shakespearean phrases that Shakespeare coined himself. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Good riddance. This phrase, which means you are glad or relieved to see someone go, comes from Shakespeare's play Troilus and Cressida. One of the characters says, "a good riddance," when someone leaves after having a dispute with him. Today, this phrase is appropriate whenever you're talking about exes, annoying roommates, or anyone else you won't miss. You can say, "good riddance" to things that have ended or gone away too.
Hi, 各位好。第一部分我们看到的单字是 appropriate。这个字是形容词，指合适的、恰当的。例如 The children were told that talking with their mouths full was not appropriate dinner behavior. 那些孩子被教导满嘴食物时讲话是不礼貌的用餐行为。另外，在 appropriate 字首加上 in， 可以成为它的反义词 inappropriate， 指不得体的、不合适的。我们可以说Most people feel that it is inappropriate to discuss how much money a person makes. 大部分的人觉得讨论一个人的薪水是一件不得体的事情。
Okay, the first phrase we're going to talk about today is good riddance. Now, this phrase, which means you are glad or relieved to see someone go, comes from Shakespeare's play Troilus and Cressida. We do know this phrase, good riddance, and I should say that it's usually kind of rude to use this. It means you're glad to see somebody go. Glad to see you go, 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 goodbye. So indeed, it means you are glad or relieved to see someone go. You're relieved. Oh, I'm so glad that they have gone home. I'm sick when my cousins come to visit. They just drop in unannounced and they eat all our food and they sit on our sofa and watch TV and there's popcorn all over the floor when they leave. So, we're so relieved when they're gone. Good riddance.
Good riddance. I'm glad to see you good. Bye, Felicia. By the way, there is a new slang term that means about the same thing as good riddance. Bye, Felicia. Look that one up. Anyways, yes, good riddance. This phrase, you say it when you are glad or relieved to see someone go or leave. That is, you feel better or you feel relaxed now that someone has left, now that something has happened, so on and so forth. Yes, you feel relieved, you feel better now that a source of stress or discomfort is no longer around. So yes, if you say good riddance, you're saying, wow, am I glad that they are gone. Now I feel relaxed and relieved. I can carry on with my life. Anyways, this phrase, good riddance, comes from Shakespeare's play Troilus and Cressida. Now, one of the characters says, a good riddance, when someone leaves after having a dispute with him. So they kind of had a fight in this particular play, and one of the characters says good riddance or a good riddance when one of these people finally leaves. I guess the fight or the dispute is over and one person is relieved to see this antagonist go away. Anyways, yes, here a dispute is not unlike a disagreement or a fight. That's pretty much all there is to it.
Or a conflict, of course. So they had a little bit of an argument there, a disagreement, a dispute. So, of course, when that person left, the other character said, oh, that's a good riddance. In the Shakespeare plays, of course, it's used a little different, but nowadays we just say good riddance. We don't say a good riddance. So basically that's something we use to say goodbye to somebody, usually not to their face, though. We kind of say it after they've left. But in this case, it says today, this phrase is appropriate whenever you're talking about exes, annoying roommates, or anyone else you won't miss. Exes could refer to your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-wife, your ex-husband. You're probably glad they're gone, so you don't have them in your hair anymore. So yes, it's appropriate to use this phrase if you're talking about exes or roommates who are annoying, bothersome, etc., or someone else you won't miss. So yes, indeed, this phrase is appropriate for these situations, and appropriate means suitable. It's what should be used in these situations.
So it makes sense. You say good riddance when you're talking about things that you're not going to miss, i.e. exes or annoying roommates. Yeah, in college, boy, did I ever have annoying roommates. When they moved out, I went, I breathed a sigh of relief. I thought, wow, am I ever glad to see those people go? Good riddance. After all, they were super annoying. Yes, if something is annoying, it makes you slightly angry. This thing is very bothersome, like Roger said before. But there are other words that mean about the same thing as annoying. Bothersome, irritating, aggravating, all of these words could describe someone or something that makes you slightly angry. This person doesn't put you into a rage or send you into a rage or a fury, but you're kind of hoping that they will leave you alone, okay? Very often, by the way, mosquitoes are aggravating or annoying to me. I'm not going to lose my mind because of a mosquito, but I would feel a whole lot better if they weren't around. Anyways, good riddance. You can say good riddance to things that have ended or gone away too. So there you can say good riddance in a couple of different ways. You can say it when someone annoying is leaving your presence, or you can just say this, good riddance, to things that have ended or gone away.
We should mention that riddance comes from the word rid. To get rid of something means that you don't want something around. It's junk. You don't need it anymore. But good riddance is basically only used in this situation. Now, let's move on now and learn a couple more phrases. It's all Greek to me, and be all and end all.
It's all Greek to me. Though this phrase may make you sound intelligent, it actually means you don't know what's going on. In Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, when Casca is asked about an orator's speech, he replies, "It was Greek to me." Since the orator spoke in Greek, which Casca can't speak, the speech was incomprehensible to him. Be all and end all. Today, we use be all and end all to refer to the most important part of something. Shakespeare's character Macbeth uses this phrase when he contemplates killing the king, wondering whether assassination might be the be all and end all that would allow him to finally become king.
第二部分，我们看到一个名词 orator 指演说家，像是 Many people say that Ray is born to be an orator because they get positive energy from his speech. 很多人说 Ray 是天生的演说家，因为他们从他的演讲中获得正面能量。接着我们看到一个单字 incomprehensible， 这个字是形容词，指难以理解的。举例来说， What the teacher is trying to teach us in class was incomprehensible to me。 老师上课教导的内容对我来说是难以理解的。另外，去除 incomprehensible 字首的 in， 可以成为它的反义词 comprehensible， 意思是可以理解的。所以说 Sometimes it's comprehensible to spend a lot of money on travel because it will be a life experience。 有时候花很多钱在旅行上是可以理解的，因为它将是一种人生经验。再来，我们看到一个动词 contemplate， 指考虑、沉思的。像是 As Eva enjoyed her breakfast in the park, she contemplated how to spend the rest of her morning。 当 Eva 在公园里吃早餐时，她考虑要如何度过剩下的早晨。另外，补充 contemplate 的形容词 contemplative， contemplative， 指沉思的、深思熟虑的。我们可以说 Lucy likes to spend a contemplative hour walking through the countryside on weekends。 Lucy 喜欢在周末时花1个小时在乡间沉思散步。接下来我们看到名词 assassination， 有暗杀、行刺之意。例如 Even though the assassination last night had failed, the police are still worrying about the safety of that billionaire。 尽管昨晚的暗杀没有成功，警察们依旧很担心那位亿万富翁的安危。另外补充 assassination 的动词 assassinate， assassinate， 指暗杀。所以可以说A terrorist organization assassinated the country's prime minister。 一个恐怖组织暗杀了该国家的总理。
Good news, everyone. We've kind of got a bonus here. You see, I thought we'd be covering 2 Shakespearean words and then 2 Shakespearean phrases as well. But hey, we are going to be learning 3 Shakespearean phrases today. We'll be reading about 3 of them. And you know what? Before the break, we talked about good riddance. And now we've got 2 more Shakespearean phrases to cover. The first of these is, it's all Greek to me. After this phrase, we'll also learn about the next phrase, be all and end all. That's the next phrase. But let's go ahead and get started for now on the phrase, it's all Greek to me. Now, though this phrase may make you sound intelligent, it actually means you don't know what's going on. Yes, if you say it's all Greek to me, you're saying, yeah, I can't read this or that because they're both Greek. So it's all Greek to me. I don't understand either of them. And you could say that if you were actually reading Greek, okay? You could be very literal. But the idea here, it's not totally literal. You can use this in any situation where you just don't know what's going on. So yes, this is kind of funny. This phrase may make you sound intelligent, but really, if you use this phrase, all you're saying is that you don't know what is going on around you. You are confused with the goings on around you. Anyways, here we have the word intelligent. The word intelligent describes someone who is smart or clever. For example, Leonardo da Vinci was an extremely intelligent individual.
He certainly was. And so, yes, if you use this phrase, it might make you sound intelligent, but remember, it actually means that you just don't know what's going on. For example, I could say, when my brother and his friends get together and talk about civil engineering, it's all Greek to me. I don't understand anything that they're talking about because I don't have a strong background in civil engineering. I don't know anything about it. But in any case here, yes, it does mean that you don't know what people are talking about and you just don't know what's going on. Now, in Shakespeare's play Julius Caesar, when Casca is asked about an orator's speech, he replies, It was Greek to me. Okay, so that's from Julius Caesar here, one of Shakespeare's plays. And we've got the character Casca here. And he was asked by somebody about an orator's speech. Here, the word orator just refers to somebody who is giving a speech in public, especially if that person is really good at making speeches.
There you go. This person, Casca, says, it was Greek to me. And since the orator spoke in Greek, which Casca can't speak, the speech was incomprehensible to him. So here, he was being literal, Casca was. Yeah, what did you think of the speech? I didn't understand it. I don't speak Greek. It was all Greek to me, so you know what? I didn't understand a single thing. The speech was incomprehensible to me. Okay, I don't speak Greek, so I didn't understand what was going on. It's all Greek to me. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next phrase, be all and end all. Today, we use be all and end all to refer to the most important part of something.
That's right, or the thing that will actually put an end to something. I hope this will be the be-all and end-all of this terrible situation, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. So today, we use be-all and end-all to refer to the most important part of something. Now, Shakespeare's character Macbeth uses this phrase when he contemplates killing the king, wondering whether assassination might be the be-all and end-all that would allow him to finally become king. I guess he was hoping that if I do this, it will take care of the situation. Nobody will suspect me of killing the king. They will think somebody else did it. So that should be the end of it. It should be all over there. It should be the be-all and end-all of this situation.
Yes, and that should allow him to finally become king. Okay, that's the be-all, the end-all. That's the end of it all. That will settle the matter, so to speak. All right, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be back to wrap up our lesson right after this.
So far, we've only scratched the surface of the words and phrases that come from Shakespeare. There are so many that you might have quoted Shakespeare at one time or another without even knowing it.
最后第三部分，我们看到一个片语 at one time or another， 代表偶尔、不常。举例来说 ，Everyone has been late at one time or another. Just make sure it doesn't become a habit for you. 每个人都会偶尔迟到，但是要确保那不会变成你的一个习惯就好。另外，可以用 at one time 来表示曾经、一度。我们可以说 At one time, Kathy planned to go back to graduate school. Kathy 一度计划回研究所念书。
So I think we did a pretty good job there, Roger. We learned about 2 Shakespearean words and 3 Shakespearean phrases. But you know what? So far, we've only scratched the surface of the words and phrases that come from Shakespeare, okay? So yes, we did cover 5 things, words and phrases both, but hey, this discussion has only just begun because we've only scratched the surface of the words and phrases that come from Shakespeare. There is much more to talk about. We've only covered a few examples compared to what is out there. We've only scratched the surface. Yes, if you scratch the surface of something, you just barely begin to discuss something, okay? You see or you do only a fraction of what is possible or of what is out there. It's kind of like here, we've only seen the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more as far as Shakespeare is concerned, so much more when it comes to the phrases and words that he has coined.
Gee, I wonder if this phrase, scratch the surface, comes from Shakespeare as well. But there are so many that you might have quoted Shakespeare at one time or another, which is a phrase that means at some time in the past you may have quoted Shakespeare without even knowing that you're doing it. And yes, I have found out later on that, gee, I've been using that phrase a lot. It turns out it's from Hamlet. To be or not to be, that is the question that you ask of me. Although I added that little bit at the end there just for fun.
That's to be or not to be. That is the question. Anyways, yes, we've only scratched the surface. There are so many things as far as Shakespeare is concerned. There are so many that you might have quoted Shakespeare at one time or another without even knowing it. So there you go. All right, folks, that does it as far as our lesson on Shakespeare is concerned. Yes, our lesson is now in the books, and it's time for you guys to hear from the Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第一部分介绍的片语是 good riddance， 表示终于摆脱了。那课文就说 Today, this phrase is appropriate whenever you're talking about exes, annoying roommates, or anyone else you won't miss. 现在每当你要谈论前任啊、讨人厌的室友或是其他你不会想念的人的时候，这个片语都很适用。好，句子里面用到 whenever， 它是当连接词，用来引导时间副词子句，去表达说每当怎么样、每次怎么样。这时候它的意思就相当于 every time 或者是 each time， 像是She thinks of her grandmother whenever she hears the song. 每次她听到那首歌的时候，总是会想起她的阿嬷。好，另外 whenever 也可以用来引导让步副词子句，去表达无论何时，不管在什么时候。好，那这时候 whenever 它可以用 no matter when 来替换。那 whenever 引导的子句，你可以把它摆在主要子句的前面或是后面。如果要摆在主要子句的前面，记得就要用逗号跟主要子句隔开。好，例如 You can come visit us whenever you want. 无论你什么时候想要来拜访我们，随时都欢迎你。那么课文第二部分有介绍到一个片语 be all and all. 他说了 Today we use be all and all to refer to the most important part of something. 现在啊，我们用 be all and all 来指事情最重要的部分。好，这边他用到一个片语 refer to， 我们来学它的几个用法。第一种是课文的用法，用来表达指的是什么什么，跟什么什么有关。像 Puppy love refers to romantic love that is felt by a child or teenager. Puppy love 指的是孩童或是青少年时期有的浪漫爱慕，像青梅竹马那一种纯纯的爱。好，第二种用法是表达参阅或是参考，像是参考书籍、查阅笔记等等。例如Please refer to our website for more information. 想知道更多的资讯，请上我们的网站查阅。好，那么第三种是表达提及、提到什么、谈起什么什么，像是 They agreed not to refer to yesterday's quarrel. 他们一致同意不要提起昨天的争执了，越提越烦，大家又会吵起来。那么第四种常见的用法是可以用 refer to A as B 来表达把 A 称为 B， 把 A 称作 B。 例如 Kate referred to her dog as her son. Kate 把她的狗狗称为儿子，她在讲她的狗的时候都是用儿子来称呼。好，以上是这些重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Relieved.The security guard found 4-year-old Alex wandering around the mall and returned him to his relieved parents. Dispute. Holly got into a dispute with her taxi driver over the amount of the fare. Appropriate. If your job doesn't require you to dress formally, jeans might be perfectly appropriate work clothing. Annoying. Charlie has the annoying habit of borrowing my things and forgetting to give them back. Intelligent.We're looking for intelligent students who have a strong sense of curiosity to join our program. Contemplate. Grace contemplated the question for several minutes before answering.
Discussion starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today. We've got a question for you. Which of these words or phrases do you think is the most useful?
I think the phrase, it's all Greek to me, is the most useful because it can be used in many situations where you are confused. If you have no idea what's going on around you, if you're confused, you can use this phrase, it's all Greek to me. Okay, so for this reason, I think it's the most useful.
Well, to me, good riddance can be used in lots of situations because we're always happy when people leave our lives. So I think it's the most useful, although that is kind of pitiful because we should be happy when people come into our lives and not happy when they leave.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.